So if you've seen my Bloom gameplay for the last few months, I've usually gone full min max, full EM on Kokomi. I never really had issues with dying, and because Kokomi does a lot of reactions in these teams, Gilded Dreams and tons of EM seemed optimal, and it did work out well. I had a lot of fast clear times and the damage was high, and generally this is the kind of build you would have seen by the fastest players in both global and China. But I'm making this video to keep you guys updated on, you can say, a meta shift. This video is a bit late, but unfortunately I've been really sick this past week. I'm also going to put links to some new speedruns in the description, and these guys aren't stacking EM either. This is the build I think I'm going to go with from now on. From this Gilded Dreams build to this OHC build, you can see there's quite a lot of good substat rolls here. I'm also using a Hydro Cup and Healing Bonus Circlet. Expect to see more people using similar builds like this from now on. There is this new artifact set, but I don't know if I'll be farming it for this team specifically. It seems like a set that's more effective in teams where mostly one character is doing the reactions in a team. I actually got this sick timepiece yesterday. Originally I was planning for an EM main stat and HP substats, but this is a blessing too, and EM main stats are rare, so I'll definitely take this. The main TLDR is the team doesn't actually need as much EM as you would think, and Kokomi seems to work out better if you farm an Ocean-Hued Clam set that builds both her EM and personal damage. Essentially, with going all in on EM, there's quite a lot of diminishing returns, and actually past a certain point, investing in her other sources of damage can improve the team's versatility, and therefore you can clear faster overall. Ocean-Hued Clam being viable and potentially optimal was already known, but for me it's more important to see the validation of these builds actually performing, and I can tell you it works in speedrunning, so that's good. So yes, her Bloom damage does go down, but you can make up some of that with the Ocean-Hued Clam hits, and importantly her burst attacks doing proper damage increases the team's single target damage. This team is already great in AoE, so it's just boosting the versatility. The clever thing you could think about is that Kokomi has a low amount of ideal substats. If you look at her normal builds outside of Bloom teams, like this is what I'd use for Mono Hydro, what substats to aim for? Attack percent is okay, but reality, I'm just going for stacking HP percent and ER. What does this mean? It means you're often wasting the two other substats. There isn't really much further to be gained once I've got the set effect, the main stats, and HP and ER. The thing is, Gilded Dreams just gives EM. It gives a lot of EM, but it's just EM. Whereas the OHC effect is unique. You can get EM from many sources like main stats, substats, team buffs, and even Abyss cards. These other stats like Hydro damage, healing bonus, and the OHC effect, you can't really get. Secondly, when you use Gilded with EM main stats, these pieces are rare. You can't really control the substats. And when you stack EM without Hydro damage bonus or healing bonus, her non-reaction damage gets very weak, like less than half of my hits now. So actually HP gets weaker as a substat. So you could argue the efficiency of going all in on EM is actually fairly low. Whereas with a balanced build, I can get EM here, and HP stands are very common. You can now see my Kokomi fully utilizes all these substats. So whilst I'm building EM, I'm still stacking HP and ER as normal to be able to use her burst mode well. Honestly, the main downside you can say is many of you probably don't want to go back to the Inazuma domain, especially if you don't play mono geo characters. These husk pieces can feel pretty dead, whereas the new Sumeru domain can be efficient with all these builds you might want to make. Personally, I like Kokomi. I didn't mind going back and min-maxing her. I also still want to improve this feather. The attack instead of HP here is unfortunate. Getting an upgrade to this feather, I don't think it should take too long.